Hi, I'm Riley, and I'm an instructor at the Voyager Outward Bound School. Thank you for choosing to come on a course with us. We know this is a huge undertaking, and we also know that the adventure starts long before you arrive here. These days, even going to the grocery store can feel like a novel experience. As you get ready to travel to the edge of the wilderness to start your expedition, this video is meant to give you some tips and tricks for how to tackle getting here safely. Before we start, we also want to remind you that your commitment to your experience and to the health and success of your team begins now. During the 14 days prior to arriving at Outward Bound, we expect you to stay at home as much as possible, minimize time in indoor spaces with people outside of your household, wear a mask when in public. When you must leave home, maintain 6 feet of distance from other people outside your household. Wash and sanitize your hands frequently and always after touching surfaces that other people touch. Avoid all crowded spaces, including public transportation. Avoid gathering with people outside your household. Avoid contact with people who are sick. Monitor yourself for COVID-19 symptoms, and contact Outward Bound immediately if you or someone in your household has symptoms of COVID-19, has tested positive, or been in contact with someone who has tested positive for COVID-19. That's a lot. If you forget, remember that all of these things are covered in the Statement of Understanding that you received from your course advisor. Any expedition begins by first planning, then packing, and eventually facing a series of unknowns and challenges. All expeditions also include a good balance of caution and fun. Think of your upcoming road trip as the beginning of your expedition. By being careful with your own health and safety as you travel to course, you are also looking out for your whole team. Here are a few general safety guidelines to practice as you travel. Travel as directly as possible and minimize stops along the way. Bring all needed supplies with you. If you need to stop, wear a face covering. Wash or sanitize your hands after touching common surfaces. And, of course, do not travel if you are feeling sick. All expeditions start with some great plans, but of course, what you face is always different than what you expected. Depending on where you're coming from and how far you're traveling, here are a few things you might encounter. When filling gas or using the restroom, pay outside whenever possible, wear a mask when you need to enter buildings and while at the gas pump, wash or sanitize your hands before and after touching any surfaces, and utilize less crowded roadside rest areas whenever possible. To minimize stops, pack a cooler with provisions. Bring jugs of water to stay hydrated. Avoid any sit-down restaurants and do curbside pickup instead. If you have a multi-day drive, there are a few ways you can minimize your exposure. You can always turn the back of your vehicle into a bed. Or, if you have the gear and are up for the adventure, check for open campgrounds on your route or camp in a family member's or friend's yard along the way. And if you need to stay in a hotel, here are some ways to mitigate the risks of contracting COVID-19. Wear a mask in common areas and hallways. Wash or sanitize your hands frequently. Bring your own pillow. And research hotels that have practices in place to make your stay safer. Ultimately, we hope you can have fun. Check out apps like Road Trippers or Roadside America that can help you plan your trip. Find off-the-beaten-path hikes, scenic views, or attractions like the world's largest mustache. We are excited to share this adventure with you. Travel safe, and we'll see you soon.